Welcome to Becoming a Writer podcast, a space where we write freely,
Write fearlessly,
and write forever. I am Rubina Gauri Gomes, and as your writer friend, I want to give you the love, support, and encouragement to realize, become, and stay a writer for life. You can find more about our conversations and your free Writer's Mental Toolbox PDF at rubinagomes.substack.com. Now please grab a cup of your favorite drink and let's have a quick chat. Hello my writer friends, Rubina here. For our 21st conversation, we are going to talk about giving ourselves mental rest to enjoy a better writing life. One of my frequent complaints in my writing journey's early days was being overwhelmed. I was overwhelmed with how much information and learning was out there, how much I had to do before, during, and after writing. I was overwhelmed by the lightning speed changes in technology and internet. I was feeling everyone was moving ahead and I was left behind. I was overwhelmed by the fact that I was so away from seeing my writing dream come true. And to bring that dream closer to me as soon as possible, I overstressed, oversearched, overanalyzed, and overworked. During this phase, my head would feel so heavy that it could roll off my shoulders. This weight of my own expectations was making it harder to write. It was making me wonder if I was truly meant for this line. Adding to this, my personal upheavals, recovering from my childhood trauma and a depressive college phase, uncooperative and painful periods, sudden loss of my cousin brother, divorce of my elder brother, gradual loss of my uncle, best friends becoming long distant, and a global pandemic. I was in a frequent state of anxiety and insecurity, which led to a couple of doctor visits as well. Eventually came a moment where I simply stopped. I couldn't carry this weight in or on my head anymore. I needed a break, a complete not doing anything, because during this time I realized how important it is to give myself a mental rest. Mental rest came to me in different forms. The first was turning off information overload. One of our time's blessing is access to the internet. It has opened the world to us. But one of the curses of our time is access to the internet. There is so much happening there that it becomes overwhelming rather quickly. When I started my writing journey, the internet helped me understand and learn everything I needed to do. But after a point I realized that there was no stopping this. The more I searched how to write a book, the more I found 100 ways to do it. This eventually led to information overload and made me give up my book before I even got started. Thankfully, I eventually found my way back to my writing and we rekindled our friendship. And to make sure our friendship stays intact, I made a promise to my writing. I promised that researching and learning about writing or different aspects of being a published author would not have precedence over my actual act of writing. Do you know there are so many types of novel writing structures? There's the hero's journey, the 3-act structure, and the 7-point story structure, to name a few. I got so overwhelmed learning about these structures that writing my novel seemed like a task I would never accomplish. So I threw everything out and brought my attention back to building a relationship with my work in progress. Instead of letting these structures dictate how I should write my novel, I let my subconscious write how it wants to. Before we became writers, we were readers. So unconsciously, our subconscious knows how a story should flow. All I have to do is get out of the way and let it do its job. The same goes for learning about marketing my words. Learning to use social media to market my words was painful and overwhelming. This was because the apps would change their policies by the time I learned something, and the information I learned would become outdated. I wasted so much time figuring out social media for marketing purposes that I could use to write my book and have something to market. Now I focus on writing my words by believing my writer's soul knows how to write and sell a book. Information overload overwhelmed me so much that I had no time, energy, or love left for my book. To save my dream, I shut all of them out, went back to the basics, and figured out things, situations, and problems as they pop up. The second form of mental rest was regulating my consumption of empty internet carbs. In today's day and age, you can't help but consume content that doesn't provide anything of value other than few seconds of chuckle and a small shot of cheap dopamine. We can't help but get sucked into the endless scroll of social media apps. I get meme reels as homework every night from my friends. These 30-second videos are like store-bought French fries, close enough to the real thing but lacking all nutrients and leaving a bland taste in my mouth. Simply put, most content on the internet is empty carbs that we are stuffing in our already exhausted minds. We think that by watching something on social media, we are giving ourselves a small break, but we are actually hurting our brain. No wonder we are always tired, forgetting things, and humming viral but irritating TikTok songs all day long. And don't even get me started on the time wasted consuming social media content. I don't know what came over me one day, but I checked my consumption analytics on YouTube and Instagram. On an average, I spent 2 hours on each platform per day. That's 4 hours every day. That's worth one deep work writing session. This was the final nail in the coffin for me. Now, the initial thought usually is to completely cut off social media from our lives, but it is next to impossible these days. I met a lady some time back and we hit it off well. Wanting to continue the conversation, this lady, instead of asking for my number, asked for my Instagram. These social media apps are not just for sharing holiday pictures or relatable memes. They have also become a means of communication, a business card, and a portfolio. It has become a means of getting to know the person without directly engaging with them. And if, like me, you are trying to build an online business, then your online presence on at least one social media app is necessary. So we can't completely eradicate social media from our lives, but we can regulate our usage. I have unfollowed, unsubscribed all the pages that no longer serve the purpose they did when I initially started consuming their content. I have unfollowed, unsubscribed all the pages that provide low quality and unsatisfying entertainment. I have deleted the apps from my phone and check YouTube once a week and Instagram once every 15 days. Doing these simple changes have given me back my mind, my time, and unclogged my writing pipe. The third form of mental rest was keeping a rested state of mind. We writers, as well as other creatives, can't work in an agitated state. We may be writing about something born out of agitation, but when we sit down to write the words, we need a calm and free of noise mind to frame our thoughts to the best of our capabilities. We can't be thinking of the dishes that need cleaning or the bills that need paying. We can't be disturbed by all the other things that we have to do. We can't be bothered by unwanted presence. We can't be in a rush. We need to be alone with ourselves and our thoughts. When I write from an agitated, confused state of mind, what I write makes no sense. Later, heavy editing is required. But when I write solely focused on the piece at hand, my thoughts and words flow in favor of it. Such a piece requires very few edits. Now, this state of mind is difficult to find and maintain. We are constantly disturbed and distracted by the world around us. There is always something that needs our immediate attention. I combat this situation with 2 solutions. 1. I write when I am usually the least disturbed. For me, this is either early morning before anyone wakes up or the post-lunch time when my family is in a siesta. 2. I do something restful before and after my writing session. Naps, stretching, reading a book, watching an episode or 2 of Friends, having coffee, taking a long relaxed drive. This preps and peps me for the writing session. If I want to be a writer for life, if I want to give my best, if I want to enjoy the process, if I don't want to burn out in the process, and if I want to enjoy the fruits of my efforts, I have to make sure my mind is rested and primed as much as humanly possible. Well, that's it for today. Next time we meet, we'll talk about taking care of our inner creative well to enjoy a thriving writing life. Until then, keep writing, my friend. Thank you for catching up with me today. I hope you found some inspiration that could help you write freely, write fearlessly, and write forever. You can listen to our previous conversations at rubinagomes.substack.com. There you'll also get access to my other essays published every Wednesday and your free Writer's Mental Toolbox PDF to help you enjoy every writing session. You can also find me on Instagram at becoming.awriter. See you later.